lights are bright. I didn't believe anybody when they were saying that. But anyway, so my name is Bob, and I am a grateful recovering addict, and my topic is service, which is, for me, my life today. I just want to share a little bit about where I was and then how I was launched into service here. My clean date is September 12th, 1995. And I'm a person that couldn't get anything right. I couldn't get clean to save my life. And I moved here from Philadelphia, relocated to Maryland to get clean because I was told of geographical change. And I did that. And when I came to Maryland, I started going to pick some people up at a recovery house. And I used to take them to meetings and follow some suggestions that I chose. I didn't take all the suggestions that I needed to take. And the end result was I relapsed. I was a chronic relapser. I thought I would never get it. And so I used to go to that recovery house. And there was my last relapse. My wife finally packed my stuff and threw me out. And I had nothing. I had a trash bag full of clothes. I lost my wife, kids, everything. And I went to that recovery house, and this was my first sighting of someone in service. I knocked on that door, and the lady that ran the house put her hand out and said, "I got one room if you want it." I took that room. I never used again after entering that house. But here's the thing that really, I think, turned the tables for me is service. Now, the 12-step program teaches us, get a home group. I used to make the coffee on Wednesday nights, and I've heard it here tonight. I thought people were going to die if I didn't go and make that coffee. On Monday, when I felt like using, I knew I had to go make that coffee on Wednesday. I didn't use. So, that service, that commitment saved my life. Okay? There's a lot of things that saved my life. Every Thursday, a gentleman named Sid would knock on the door, and he would say, "Anybody want to go down the street to the church?" House full of guys, nobody wanted to go. Called my sponsor. I heard it here tonight, and you don't hear it a whole lot in the rooms. Any and all lengths is what my sponsor told me. Sid knocked on that door, third Thursday. I said, "I'll go." So I went. Nobody else went. So I go to the church. I go a few more times, and I got 30 minutes, so I'm going to try and do this in 30 minutes. So I go to that church a few times. Around the third time, Sid says, "Hey, Bob, everybody knows you here now. Would you like to be saved?" Well, I've lost everything in my life. I didn't have a God. I didn't feel that I had a God in my life at all. Call my sponsor. I said, "Hey, Sid wants me to do this. What do you think?" He says, "Any and all lengths, whatever works." I go. Circle, 10 people. They start saying all my problems because I was going there for a few times, so they knew me. And I went there and I cried every time I went, and I told them all my issues. And I left out the part where the obsessive compulsive behavior, I couldn't get it. It was crippling. I couldn't focus on my recovery. So they went in a circle. They started talking in tongues. I didn't know whether to run, hide, didn't know what to do. All I could do was put my head down and allow it to happen. I did that. The next morning, the compulsive, obsessive behaviors were completely gone. Never had it again till this day. And that was God coming into my life and allowing me to start my journey. So, I went back to the recovery house and I started to grow. And I started to open up and listen to suggestions. And I stayed at that recovery house for 9 months. After 9 months, I went home. And my phone kept ringing 24/7. Kept ringing. And we started helping people, getting people into rehabs. Whatever I needed to do, that's what we did. That's what I learned. I didn't realize that I was launched into service in this way. So, my wife, who I drugged all through addiction with me, has stuck with me. I went back home. She started answering phone calls and doing all the legwork to help people get to where they needed to go. Meantime, I'm going to meetings every night. I have a home group. I was going to a church, a small church in town, and it was so small, we couldn't even fit in there. I went down the street to another church, and I said, hey, I just wanted to start a meeting there. I started the NA meeting there. It's been my home group for 25 years now. And I continue to go there. And as my journey kept on going, I'm in service with that church there. And, all through this whole process, I talked to, me and my wife were talking, and so one year we put 45 people in rehab in 1 year. 45. And, but what we noticed, it was like a revolving thing. There was nowhere for them to go once they got out of rehab. They came right back to the same neighborhood, to the same thing. And there wasn't no recovery houses, at least in our area. So as we continue through service and serving our community, we've decided to open up a recovery house. So in 2013, we opened up the Dexter House. And we received the Pioneer Award that year because we were the first recovery house in our community in Northeast Maryland, in Cecil County. And shortly after, we opened up another recovery house. And each house holds 8 beds. We kind of mimicked it after the house that I was in that worked for me. And very structured, very 12-step oriented. It is, we are abstinent. And shortly after that, we opened up a female house. So it just took off. So our female house is the Charlotte House. Again, each one holds 8 beds. Very manageable. We run it together. I have a full-time job. We work with our community. We are deep roots in our community. We work with the firehouse. Our houses, everybody in our houses have to, they have to serve in the community. They have to be of service. It's so important. So, you know, like some of the speakers ahead of me, they jump back and forth, and I do the same thing, and I'm trying so hard not to. But, you know, and one of the big things was cliches in the program, but, you know, I wanted to say I used to live and live to use, okay? And I wanted to say that because that was my life. Today, my life is to serve to live and live to serve. That's what I do. And the rewards of that is just phenomenal. And my suggestion is that everybody in this room, just imagine, there's millions and millions of recovering individuals out there. Just imagine if at least half of them served. We can answer our own problems, okay? Unfortunately, the government is not going to solve all our problems as addicts and stuff that's going on. We can do it, but we need to serve to do it. We need to do it together, you know? So it's so important. This is my life now. This is what I do. I wake up every morning thinking, what can I do for somebody else? Because just like someone shared up here, if you didn't have something for me, I had nothing to do with you. I didn't know nothing about service except for what do you have for me? It's not like that today. And I live this one day at a time. And, you know, I owe a lot. My wife, she don't want me to do this, but she's my partner. She's just as much in service as I am. You know? We're a team. You know? And it's so important. It's so important to be a part of your community. And just to be there. It is priceless when I'm able to reach my hand out and help somebody. Can't even explain it. The feeling and what I get out of that. And how it helps me every day stay clean. Every day. One day at a time. And, you know, there's quite a few alumni sitting in this audience. And I said, well, I'm going to call them out. But I'm going to call them out because, you know, service will set you free. It truly will. Service will give you things that you never thought you could ever imagine, just like the 12-step program does. It goes hand in hand. For me, service is the key to success. You know, I also do service like my job. Everywhere I go, I try to help someone or do something for the right reasons. So I have a pretty good job. I got involved with their peer program. I am in service there. My phone rings at work. People at work that struggle with issues. And it doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol. It could be just mental health. Whatever it is on the job, my phone rings. And I'm able to help them and guide them to where they need to be on a daily basis. Because I believe that on that day back in 1995, God has sent me out to be that person to help someone else. And sometimes I ask myself, why was I the chosen one to do that? But I wouldn't change my life for nothing today. I'll do this to the day I die. helping the next one, and the next one. Because for the ones that do make it, and the ones that do take suggestions, and the ones that will go in service after tonight, you know, to see them grow and blossom into that beautiful person that they were meant to be is unfathomable. It's just, it's amazing. But I'm not sure if I left anything out, but I'm sure my wife will let me know when I'm done here. But I like to keep it really simple. You know, it's another cliche I learned in the 12-step program is keep it simple. I keep my life real simple, and it makes it easy. And if you're struggling, try and do the same thing. Keep it simple. Live it one day at a time. You know, yesterday's gone, tomorrow's not here yet. We have the day. And again, my name's Bob, and I am a grateful recovering addict, and I'm here to serve. That's my purpose. Thanks for letting me share.